Hi guys, it's Quinn here. If you enjoy my videos, consider hitting the like button. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm really notices me. If you'd like to do more to keep this channel afloat, consider donating through the PayPal link in the description or checking out our Patreon. Thanks guys so much. Alastair Reynolds' Revelation Space series stands as a masterpiece within the realm of space opera, captivating readers with its expansive world building and mind-bending science fiction concepts. In this video, we embark on a deep exploration of yet another intriguing concept from the series, an enigma that delves into the early stages of cosmic civilization within the vast expanse of the universe. Brace yourself as we unravel the mysterious origins of an ancient race of life forms, whose existence now lingers only in the form of scattered machines spanning the galaxy. Designed with one sole and devastating purpose. However, I must issue a word of caution. This video contains some significant spoilers for the intricate lore of the Revelation Space Saga. If you are averse to having any aspect of this captivating series spoiled for you, I implore you to click away. However, if spoilers don't deter you, or if you have already delved into the gripping narrative of at least the first book, then join me on this journey of discovery. Let us embark upon our odyssey by delving into the very fabric of the universe itself. In the cosmic overture, there existed the singularity, a point of infinite density that held within it the entirety of existence. In an awe-inspiring instant, a matter of Planck time, this singularity expanded exponentially, swiftly encompassing the size of our solar system and then spiraling outward to encompass the entirety of our galaxy. As this cosmic symphony unfolded, particles of matter and antimatter were released, engaging in a cataclysmic dance of annihilation upon collision. Yet, in the cosmic scales of fate, matter emerged triumphant, for it possessed a slight advantage over its antimatter counterpart, that being that there was simply slightly more matter than antimatter. Thus, the surviving matter laid the foundations for the intricate tapestry of our universe, persisting through the eons to the present day. This primal clash of matter and antimatter marked the genesis of the First War, a conflict that reverberated throughout the corridors of time. However, the universe is not solely a stage for astrophysics. It holds much more within its vast tapestry. Within the pages of the Revelation Space series, we learn of the Dawn War, a conflict of unprecedented magnitude that reverberated across the Milky Way galaxy. No galactic war in the billion years that followed could ever hope to rival its monumental scale and profound impact. The Dawn War extended its vast tendrils across countless civilizations, stretching its shadowy grip to encompass a myriad of worlds. Its ferocious embrace endured for an inconceivable span of time, leaving no involved party unscathed and many civilizations entirely erased from existence. As the cosmic sands of time ebbed and flowed, an unaccountable number of beings and cultures were lost to the eternal obscurity of forgotten history. It was long enough for species to self-evolve, to fragment, to coalesce with other species or assimilate them, to remake themselves beyond recognition, or even jump from organic to machine life substrates. Some had even made the return trip, becoming machine, then returning to the organic when it suited their purposes. Some had sublimed, vanishing from the theater of the war entirely. Some had converted their essences to data and found immortal storage in carefully concealed computer matrices. Others had self-immolated. Moreover, the scope of the Dawn War transcended the boundaries of the Milky Way itself, engulfing the two smaller satellite galaxies in its destructive reach. Its voracious appetite devoured planets, entire star systems, and vast spiral arms, imprinting permanent scars upon the galaxy's fabric that endured even after the passage of 1 billion years. Anomalies dot the cosmic landscape as lingering vestiges of this cataclysmic conflict. Clusters of lifeless stars arranged in ancient alignments, their embers flickering with the echoes of devastation, and remnants of colossal weapons scattered across the cosmic canvas bear silent witness to the unimaginable horrors unleashed during the eons of the Dawn War. There were voids where there ought to have been stars, and stars which according to the accepted dynamics of solar system formation, ought to have worlds, but which lacked them, only rubble, cold now. But what precipitated this epochal conflict? According to the books, approximately 4 billion years ago, the galaxy teetered on the precipice of a pivotal turning point, a juncture where the emergence of intelligent cultures became an inevitability. The birth of intelligence manifested in various forms, progressing at disparate speeds across the expanse of the cosmos. Roughly 3 billion years after the dawn of life, some of these burgeoning civilizations took their first tentative steps into the vast expanse of space. When that point was reached, most cultures expanded rapidly into the galaxy, although there were always a few stay-at-homes who preferred to colonize only their own solar systems, or sometimes even just their own circumplanetary environments. But generally, the pace of expansion was rapid, with a mean drift rate between 1/10 and 1/100th of the speed of light. That sounded slow, but it was in fact blindingly fast given that the galaxy was billions of years old and only 100,000 light years wide. Under these conditions, any one of these spacefaring civilizations possessed the potential to establish dominion over the galaxy within a mere few tens of millions of years, a minuscule span when measured against the cosmic tapestry of time. However, fate twisted the threads of destiny in unexpected ways. The initial culture to emerge was by chance, slower in its expansion through the cosmos. Simultaneously, a younger civilization rapidly advanced, reaching the zenith of their technological progress. In terms of technological acumen and aggression, the younger civilization stood basically toe and toe with its elder counterpart, thus setting the stage for the inevitable conflict that would be known as the Dawn War. There was what, for want of a better word, one might describe as a galactic war, a sudden sparking friction where these two swelling empires brushed against one another, grinding like vast flywheels. As the eons unfurled, witnessing the ascent of other cultures, they too were inexorably drawn into the gravitational pull of the Dawn War, each no doubt contributing their unique strengths and ambitions to the relentless maelstrom of chaos. Countless spacefaring societies, numbering in the thousands, descended into the abyss of this interstellar conflict. The war was baptized with countless names in countless languages, an epitaph inscribed upon the annals of time. As I mentioned earlier, by the war's thunderous climax, the very fabric of the galaxy bore indelible marks, serving as a testament to the unimaginable carnage that had unfolded. But amidst the tumult, one culture emerged from the primordial chaos, stronger and more resilient than the rest. A culture destined to, 1 billion years later, cast a menacing shadow over the future of humanity itself. The true genesis of this dominant culture remains shrouded in the veils of uncertainty. It is plausible that they were forged from a coalition of disparate species, united by a shared wariness of the impending conflict. Alternatively, they may have initially been minor players in the grand tapestry of the Dawn War, rising from the wreckage of fallen civilizations to claim supremacy over their brethren. In the turbulent aftermath of the war, the absolute truth of their origins likely eluded them. Nonetheless, it was understood that they had been a chimeric species, a fusion of organic and mechanical components, and fascinatingly, they had chose to forgo the attribution of a name, existing in the annals of history and legend, only as the Inhibitors. The cosmic imprint left by the Inhibitors extends far beyond the ruins and remnants of the Dawn War. Operating as post-intelligent beings, devoid of consciousness as we understand it, the Inhibitors possessed a singular directive: to inhibit the proliferation of life throughout the galaxy. They accomplished this mission by systematically exterminating any intelligent civilization they encountered. Their modus operandi entailed distributing triggers at varying locations across the galaxy and patiently waiting for unsuspecting intelligences to activate them. Once triggered, these insidious mechanisms brought about the utter annihilation of the civilizations that had stumbled upon them. Crucially, it is vital to recognize that the inhibitors' actions were not fueled by malevolence or desire for domination. They were a post-intelligent race, as I mentioned earlier. They operated entirely without consciousness. They sought to orchestrate the galaxy's journey through a monumental crisis, the impending collision of the Andromeda and Milky Way galaxies. As I elucidated in my previous Revelation Space video, this collision is an actual event slated to occur approximately 3 billion years, both within our real futures and within the Revelation Space books. The inhibitors, in their enigmatic wisdom, sought to curtail the proliferation of intelligent life, ensuring the survival and harmony of the galaxy in the face of this impending cataclysm. The Dawn War, as depicted within the Revelation Space series, serves as a profound reminder of the ceaseless struggle for resources that underlies all life. Within this struggle lies the inexorable yearning for power, a hunger that drives the quest for control over others and ultimately dominion over the abundant resources that sustain existence. It is in the realm of science fiction that we can seize upon these seeming fundamental truths, expanding them to cosmic proportions. Authors like Lashitian, in his seminal work The Three-Body Problem, explore the cascading chains of suspicion, while Frank Herbert in the Dune Saga magnifies the intricate dynamics of feudalism. Ian Banks envisions an entire society as a grand game in his book Player of Games, a single novel in his expansive and celebrated Culture series. Science fiction offers us the extraordinary opportunity to ponder the profundity of existence, casting our imaginations wide to embrace the myriad possibilities of the cosmos and to consider the dark side of life in the universe and of humanity. Now I turn to you, dear viewers. Have you traversed the immense landscapes of Alastair Reynolds Revelation Space books? If so, what are your thoughts and impressions of this literary odyssey? Furthermore, I invite you to share your favorite works of science fiction, those novels that have ignited the fires of your imagination and propelled you into the realms beyond the mundane. Please do not hesitate to leave your comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe for more Quinn's ideas. Also, consider donating to keep this channel afloat by clicking the paypal.me link or checking us out on Patreon. The time has come again to answer Patreon questions. If you want to submit a question, you can join our Patreon, link in the description. First question comes from Zarkon D. Grissom. The first chapter, paragraph, book cover, image, or video you had seen/read that captivated you into sci-fi. If it's too personal, maybe non-spoiler thoughts on the pending Dune 2 that should be out this year. Well, it's not too personal. I've talked about this before. The most influential thing when I was younger that got me into science fiction was Futurama, and I made an entire video about Futurama, which you can check out on the channel. I absolutely loved it, and it just sowed a lot of seeds that would later blossom into me just like really appreciating, science fiction. And thoughts on Dune 2 coming out this year, I'm very excited about it. I did a breakdown of the trailer. You can check that out if you'd like to know more thoughts, but I'm very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the completion of this first arc in the Dune saga. The next question is from R. I know you're a big fan of the Three-Body Problem and its dark force explanation of the Fermi Paradox. While captivating, that is just one of many Fermi Paradox solutions. But along the spectrum from the less to the more complex, there seems to be a strong preference for cooperation rather than confrontation. Cell structures, which seem to have been separate organisms, become vastly more successful when assembled into cells, then multicellular organisms being cooperations of individual cells, then societies, be it human or otherwise, seem to have a qualitative advantage over solitary individuals, then whole societies cooperating in bodies like the EU or UN. What are your thoughts about why this tendency wouldn't or would carry over to the galactic scale? Well, I think Shishin Look makes a pretty interesting argument when he brings up the chains of suspicion, comparatively when it comes to different worlds separated by a cosmic distance, chains of suspicions that would be resolved much more quickly on Earth due to shared culture, shared species, and just closer proximity are not resolved in outer space. And I go into this in more detail in my What Makes the Forest Dark video. But as I've said before, Liu Cixin, just like all science fiction authors, is exploring a particular set of concepts, and he's using the story as a vehicle to do so. When reading science fiction, I don't necessarily, even if I'm intrigued by a concept, it's not necessarily this is the way the universe actually functions. It's more, I'm using this concept to explore a set of ideas. You know, I think the biggest obstacle for galactic cooperation is the distance. If we could eliminate that obstacle, I do still think that we have a hurdle to get over, because intelligent species are not singular or multicellular organisms. Intelligent species carry with them the baggage of their culture and their evolution. Given the size of the universe and the genetic diversity that must be present among the varying species of the cosmos, what is the likelihood of two races encountering each other and being compatible enough to even facilitate the initial interaction? So when it comes to interspecies cooperation, I think that it's easier when these two species share an evolutionary tract like humans do with every other species on the planet, than when it's two species coming from different planets light years away from each other. The next question comes from James Donahoe. Which comic series or graphic novel series would you be interested in covering? I'd love to hear your thoughts on something like The Invisibles or Alan Moore's Top 10. Well, actually, I've been considering covering Descender by Dustin Nguyen. I think it is a great series of graphic novels, and nobody has been talking about it. I have not seen anybody talk about it, and I think it is great science fiction, is a great story with great characters, and you really, really root for this robot kid. You really do, and I just think it's a great series. The next question comes from Charles Lee Thorpe. There's been a flurry of excitement in the UFO community recently with a seemingly credible whistleblower from within the United States intelligence community coming forward claiming that the US and other governments have crashed UFOs and bodies of non-human intelligences in their possession. Care to don your tinfoil and weigh in? I have no idea what's going on. I saw that whole thing in Vegas with the ship landing in the people's backyard or something like that. There's a lot of weird stuff happening right now. I just really get the sense that humankind is kind of waiting for something. We have entered into the age of Aquarius, so I think everyone is kind of trying to create a new god. You know, you had Nietzsche saying God is dead. But, you know, I think it was Jung that said that we were just going to create it. We're going to create a new god. And in the age of Aquarius, our new god is aliens or maybe AI. And that's what I think is happening right now. People really, really, really are trying hard to create a new god. And I don't know if, like, we're kind of manifesting it. But personally, I really do believe that if UFOs are a real thing and this really is some kind of foreign intelligence, I think that it's been here for a very long time. And I think it is not concerned with us, and I don't think their ships are crashing. And I think if anything is crashing out of the sky, they're doing an experiment on us, or they're testing us. So that's a little bit of tinfoil and woo for you. There you go. I don't think that the aliens are just like crashing out of the sky. I think they've been here for a long time if they're here, and they're watching us, and we're their pets, more than likely. All right. The next question comes from Donovan Carr. Good day, Quinn. I hope life is treating you well. I have just started reading James S. A. Corey's The Expanse novels, and halfway through the first novel, I am impressed in quite a few ways. I have not watched it, but this has brought up a common question my friends and I go to quite regularly. In your view, do you think it is better to read literature first and watch a movie video or media, or vice versa? It just simply depends. I have done both ways, and I don't know. It just really depends. Sometimes, in general, I would say read the source material first, and then you'll have like a starting point. You'll have a more grounded understanding of the adaptation. Usually, sometimes not, but generally I would say read the source material first. And the final question for today, Michelangelo Landgrave. Final thoughts on Apple TV's Foundation adaptation. Well, look, when I was watching the first season, I was a little disappointed because I wanted it to be Asimov's books, and that's what it isn't. But I have to say that if you divorce yourself from this being foundation, if you don't go into it expecting Asimov's Foundation, it is a high quality production. The acting is good, it's high budget. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's a decent series if you divorce it from being Asimov's, is what I think about it. It's nice to look at, it really is. Alright, and that is the last Patreon question. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe for more Quinn's ideas. Peace out. Final note, I have started a podcast. All links in the description. It's a science fiction podcast called Cosmic Chronicles, where we go on a journey through science fiction and dive deep into some of my favorite things.